Hi, I'm Kristen and this is Scrap Fabric Love, and today I'm going to be laying bare my collection of UFOs. No, I don't have a secret garage filled with unidentified flying objects. If you are new to quilting, UFO is a term that lots of quilters used for an unfinished object. So a quilt project that you started, got partway through, and then crickets. You didn't pick it up. This is different from a whip. You might have heard this term as well, a work in progress. So that's one where like a project you've got on the go, maybe you don't work on it every day or every week, but you pick it up on a regular basis and it's kind of marching its way towards finishing at some point. UFO is different. UFO is the ones where you had maybe lots of energy for it at the beginning and then it just went nowhere. And I have quite a few of those. So I am going to show you them in an effort to kind of reinvigorate myself. I'm looking over because I have them all set out here so I can grab them. In an effort to kind of reinvigorate myself to do something with some of them. And also just as a way to have a discussion about how much should we be forcing ourselves to finish projects that we're no longer interested in, or should we? And we're all going to come to a different conclusion on that. But anyway, so I'm going to show you the projects that I haven't finished, and hopefully it'll make you feel better about yours. Okay, so I'm going to get the most embarrassing one out of the way first. This is my box of Farmer's Wife quilt blocks. If you are a long-time subscriber to the channel, I'm embarrassed to know that you might have seen a couple of videos where I tried to finish this and then I didn't. So basically, Farmer's Wife quilt, if you don't know about it, is like a collection of block patterns that were free in magazines in the 1930s. I think there's another version, maybe the 20s, don't quote me. And someone collected them all into a book, and there's like a layout for them at the back. You can do them traditionally pieced or foundation paper pieced. I did them foundation paper pieced. I have a video about how I approached that a couple years ago. And I haven't finished all the blocks in the book. I've got lots of them. I'll put a photo because I think I've laid them out in previous photos for previous videos, but this is what I have. All of these lovely blocks, which would have taken me probably at least an evening to do each of them. Or, well, maybe some of them were two in an evening, but I mean, it took some time, right? And I did them in these kind of brightish colors. And then I had another video, maybe another year ago, maybe more, where I had used quilting software to come up with all these layouts where I could finish this, and then I didn't. And I kind of know what's holding me back with this one. So what's holding me back with this one is, one, I did spend a lot of time on these blocks. A lot of them are way more intricate than the kind of things I would normally make, like lots of little pieces. Where's one with really little pieces? Like that. And so I guess I don't want to mess it up is part of it. But I usually get over that when that's the thing. I think the other side of it is there's no end point for this one. So yeah, I could have it for my house and I would probably want to keep it with all the work I put into it. But I've got lots of quilts, so it's not like a pressing need. I don't need another one. And I don't know anybody to give it to that would really appreciate this style or, you know, these patterns and things like that. So, and often I am deadline focused. So if it's going to be a gift or I've decided I want to put something in a quilt show or something like that, that tends to drive me. And there is no deadline with this other than, you know, you would think I would be motivated by not wanting to have to come back to you every time I do a UFO video and going, still haven't done that one, but it's not enough. So anyway, that's the most embarrassing one out the way. So where to next? I might go back to another older one. This one, which I have shown on here before, I'm pretty sure. It was just like probably less a UFO, more a failed experiment. It was just like improv with, I think I cut this apart. I remember what happened here. Yeah, so I was gonna cut this apart and do it for, so this used to be one big quilt top, and I'll find a photo, I probably have a photo somewhere of what it looked like, and I wasn't in love with it. And then I thought I would cut it up, because it was quite big, into the size for Quilts for Care Leavers, which is one of the charities I talked about last week in the charity video. And then I thought the young kids wouldn't want it either. And so I never finished that, because I did talk in that video about maybe not giving ugly quilts to people. So I don't know whether this one shouldn't just be, maybe I should just tear it apart and use the scraps for crumbs. What do you think? I mean, I have also seen videos where people like take quilt tops they didn't like and they cut them down into blocks, and then, but I'm not in love with the colors. So yeah, that's why this one just sits there. It's just a bit blah all around. So any ideas that I have to kind of reinvigorate it, I'm not excited about, so I don't. So that's, I suppose, where I'm thinking like, so when I started quilting, right? And if you have seen my previous UFO videos, you'll have heard me say this before, but I didn't understand the thing where the quilters all said they had all this stuff unfinished, all these projects unfinished on their shelves. I didn't understand why we needed a UFO acronym, because it was so widespread that people had these projects that they just left. I didn't get it. And now I get it. So I've been quilting for 4 years now, something like that. And now I get it. It's very easy to get excited about a quilt project, get going full gusto, and then it isn't what you thought, or you see something else that you want to work on. And that seems to be a very common thing that happens to quilters. And I know lots of you have commented on previous UFO videos and told me that you have the same. So I suppose it would be kind of, when I'm looking at all of these projects, kind of going, which ones are worth my time to finish and which ones do I need to offload and do something else with? Because there is a, like, for me, maybe not for everybody, but for me, there's like a mental load to knowing there's all this stuff half finished all over my sewing room. It doesn't make me feel good. So I would like to, finally decide what to do with this. This is like, is it just fabric? I need to just take it back to its original parts, or something else. If you have any ideas, let me know. But anyway, I'm going to keep going with the UFOs. I'll probably keep going on tangents as I do that. What's the next one? This one. Okay. I don't even know when I started this one. So this was, I think I was going to do this on the channel, and I didn't. So I wrote, this was my pattern for myself. I was going to do squares on point, and it was going to be, the B is all at the top, is all black, and the rest was like rainbow colors. And I've got sections of it pieced. Let me just see what I can hold up. Hang on. That, ooh, it's wrinkly. Everything's wrinkly. And that, I will lay out what I have. Maybe I'm trying to take photos. But anyway, that, so you can see the idea. It was just supposed to be, like, I think it was going to be a large baby quilt. And I don't know who it was for, and if I ended up making them something else, maybe. So I think what happened was I was following my own pattern, and I got confused somewhere, and so it wasn't going together in the middle. And then I was like too tired that night to unpick it and fix where things were supposed to go, which would be an easy fix. And then I just didn't. I went and did something else. So this one, I think, now that I'm pulling it out and looking at it and hearing myself talk, I'm thinking this one I should finish, because I also do have a friend who likes bright colors who is having a baby in November. So perhaps this is for her. And I probably just need to devote an evening to wrapping my head around what I did wrong and then get it finished. So, okay. So that's all right. This one's not as scary as I thought when I opened the box and saw all the crinkled fabric inside. Okay, that one makes me feel better. Right, hang on, let me just fold this up and then I'll get to the next one. Right, so this one, probably worth finishing. And I have someone who I could give it to. So that's gonna be a good motivator. Right, next. Okay, next I have this one. This was one, it was supposed to be like an example for, if you've seen my join and flip quilt as you go videos, I've got a few of them. It's like a quilt as you go method where you don't have to use joining strips, and but you have to kind of do things in a certain order in order to hide the raw edges. Anyway, so people were asking for full quilt examples, so I was trying to make one with just some other random, I think these were orphan blocks I had left over from something else, and I started doing it, and then I think the time, like I try and, it doesn't happen every week, but I try and get a video up every Tuesday, and I think the time when I would have to get the video out was coming. And I just wanted to finish that video. I didn't have time to finish this, so I didn't. So I still have strips to finish it. Also, I don't love it. I purposely used blocks I didn't like. so that I wasn't like wasting things just to make an example quilt. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, that's like a specific content creator problem, not a regular quilter problem. But anyway, so I, again, don't have an end use for this quilt. It was supposed to be an example for a video that's already gone out. And I don't know that it really would have illustrated things. I mean, that's probably the other reason I didn't use it. I don't think it would have illustrated things that much better than what was already in the video. So I didn't use it. And so now I've not finished it. So this one's difficult because it's like, it's almost there. It just needs, so it's got, what has it got here? So this was the middle and it's got a bottom border and it needs the other 3 sides. That's it. So I feel like this one I should probably also just finish and give to, I don't know. I would say charity, except that I don't like how it looks. I don't know that I want to do that, but maybe it's for a dog shelter. It's a bit big. I don't know. So that's my problem. That's going to be my problem with this. The other one I just showed you is like, I know who would like that. And I like the colors. And I liked the idea when I started. So that's easy. This one was a bit, let's just make an example of something, but I don't actually like what I was making. So that makes it harder to finish. Okay, so that's that one. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this one. So that's in the pile of Right, what else have I got? I've got this one. This is one that's also been on the channel. It was a stash buster quilt that I was trying to make. Again, quickly. I'll put a picture up so you can see the whole thing. But, so it's a finished quilt top. And I just haven't quilted it. And part of that, I think, is because I'm not in love with the colors, which I said in my video. I know it will look better when it's quilted though. So I probably should just do that. And then I can, but again, I don't have anyone specifically to give it to. I could give it to a charity, like I was talking about last week, because it isn't ugly. I don't think it's ugly. It's just not my taste in colors. Or the other option, which is always an option with a finished quilt top that you don't have the heart to quilt, is I could save it for a backing. Like, so if I finish the quilt top and I don't have the heart to piece a backing, I could just have this on standby to go in the back. But again, then it's like, am I going to have a quilt top with colors that are going to go with that? So don't know. Okay, next one. This was, so that one I just showed you was a video, like a quick stash buster video that I did on the channel. And in that video, I used the scraps from that to make a bonus quilt top, which is this one. And then I said at the end, I was gonna like try some different quilting techniques. I was gonna do a video, and I've filmed some of it, but I haven't made the video. And basically it was about trying out hand quilting stitches on my FAF sewing machine. I did do that. And then I kind of sort of liked it, but not enough to do the whole quilt that way. So I started experimenting with different stuff on it. And basically I was gonna do like let's try and make a quilt look somewhat hand quilted or rustic or cottagey or whatever word you want to use on the domestic rather than on my long arm, right? Or actually doing it by hand. So I got, again, I will take a picture. I got 3/4 of the way through it, and it was taking a long time, frankly. And then now I've got these red stitches are just basting stitches. I've got this whole bottom third of the quilt that's not quilted. So this is a quilt sandwich. All I need to do is quilt the bottom third and then trim it and bind it, and I would have a finished quilt. And I just dropped it, and I don't know why. I just didn't go back to it. Like, anyway, so, and I don't know why. I was excited about it when I was doing it, and I still kind of like it when I'm looking at it. So that probably is in the pile with the other one where I should just devote an evening or two and get it done, because that's just silly. I can't remember what distracted me. I did finish something out. I think maybe it was another quilt for a friend, or I have been putting a lot of energy into working on a quilt pattern that's going to be in a magazine next year. Like, they work so far in advance. So I had a deadline for that. Maybe that's what I went on. I don't know. Anyway, so this one probably I could finish. Right, that's going in the pile over here. Sorry if you can hear birds chirping. That's pigeons. I've got pigeons that roost on our roof, and sometimes they're really noisy like today. So sorry if you can hear that. Okay, I have 2 more. It's actually not that many, okay? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I've got another 4. Oh, 6. I forgot the farmer's wife. Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5, 6, 7. So I probably got about 9, I think, UFOs. Is that bad? Or I don't know. Anyway, so I've got 2 more categories. Anyway, one is kind of creative exercises that were prompted by, so I'm in a group that Zach Foster runs, and he does various workshops and various quilt-alongs. And sometimes I dip into those and sort of end up with something, and then I don't finish them. So that's where I am. So he's got a quilt-along going at the moment called Destroy This Quilt. So he's an art quilter. I did mention him briefly last week. So he has various prompts that are very kind of arty and conceptual and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, so this is where I've got to. Again, I will try and take a better photo on the floor. And I think this was up to about prompt 6, and they might be on, I'm not sure what they're on now, but I think it's in the teens of the number of prompts. It's going the whole year. So there's still time, and I do like it. I'm interested in it. It was fun, but again, I just got distracted with other things. So maybe I need to, this one I'm thinking maybe is one, just looking at it now, because, there's not really a deadline. It is like prompts, I'm not going to submit it to anything. No one's going to quiz me if I don't finish it. I don't have to do all the prompts he sets. I could choose which ones just to finish it, or I could decide it's done now and quilt it if I wanted. But I kind of like to continue with the prompts because they were fun. So, but looking at it now, my brain says maybe this is a fun thing to do after Christmas or during the Christmas break, because I often get a little bit of a sewing slump after I've finished making stuff for people's gifts and they're all sent away. So maybe that would be a nice guided way to do something during the holidays. That's a thought, but I don't know. So I've got the pile over right in front of me of the 2 that really wouldn't take that much effort to finish, and I need to just do it. So that's there. Got the other pile over here where I'm like, I don't know, and it doesn't make me excited. And this one, it does make me excited, but maybe not for right now. So I'm going to put that over there. Then I've got this one, which was another it was just like a timed workshop. I don't even remember what the prompt was, but he was just playing lots of music that was peppy and maybe a bit indie. I don't know, indie pop or something. I'm not sure what it was. Anyway, and I made this, and it was like a timed thing. I love these timed workshops where you only have like an hour to do something or whatever. So it's got like denim pockets and various bits of velvet samples and just random things in it. But again, like a lot of the stuff in that community are about exploring artistic ideas, and then I don't know what to do with them when we're done with that. So that's this one. I don't know. Do I quilt it up? Do I make it bigger? Do I cut it up and use the pieces in something else? Not sure. So this one is probably more in the pile of goodness. I don't know what to do with that. But I like the colors and the ideas in it better. But it's like, is it an idea for a whole different quilt, or does this need to be finished? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so that's going to go there. Oh, I just forgot about this one. There's this one on the wall. I thought I just had another category over there, but I've got this one. That makes it 10 UFOs, I think. Anyway, okay. So some of you have probably seen this hanging on my design wall in the background in lots of videos. This is basically somebody else's patchwork. So I bought a stack of, it was half square triangles. So the person had done, so this is a red solid and a red batik, for example, and same with the yellow and this purple, and I got so far as to put them in a kind of design order and sew them together, and they're not in it now because I needed the wall for something else, but I did take a picture of the layout that I did for, it was like the central diamond. Obviously that wasn't what the person had intended, so the colors didn't entirely match up and stuff. But then I had an idea of how to finish that. I was going to maybe finish it with some crumb blocks and some denim, of course. And then I did something else. Possibly I think I moved on to this one next, and neither of them got finished. So, and this one I do think I'll really like the quilt at the end of that. I'm just pointing, I don't even know if you can see this on the camera. Yeah. So I want to finish that. So I think that is in the category with the rainbow black baby quilt and the blue hand look quilt of ones that I just need to crack on and try and finish. Those 3. And then I've got still this pile of, I don't know, this one for later. And then I've got 2 more over here, which are not my UFOs, they're somebody else's UFOs. Hang on. Right, so these, I've also, I think, shown on the channel before, probably when I bought them. This is an entire quilt top. I'll try and look for the photo. But it's, somebody couldn't finish it. And again, I should just quilt it up. Or the other idea was to like maybe do applique on top of it to make it kind of more my own, I think was what I was thinking. It looked really nice though, as it was hanging on I hung it out on the washing line to take a picture of it when I bought it. And I was excited about finishing it then, but I've just let it sit, which I feel guilty about it because it's somebody else's hard work that I'm just leaving to sit there. And then these were somebody else, again on eBay, where I bought their quilt blocks. So these were quilt as you go. These are already quilted onto some batting and a backing. And I thought they would be really easy to finish up, and they would be, but I just haven't prioritized it. So again, I feel bad about that. So I am wondering with these ones. So this one, I'm not sure. This one, I think I could still in the realm of possibilities, I'll do something with it. I either just quilt it or add to it, but I'm not sure exactly what, and I don't think it's a for right now project. So I'm gonna put it over here with the Destroy This Quilt one, the prompt one that I was talking about, as something that needs a bit more thought and a bit more time, but I do wanna do it. So, which is probably where the Farmer's Wife one is as well. So that's a pile of 3 over there. And there's a pile of 1, 2, 3 of more immediate here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 of I just don't know what to do with you. And this, I think, is where this goes. But I wonder whether I should just cut and run with this one. Should I sell them? Should I donate them? Does anybody on the channel want them? I mean, you guys watching, do you want them? If you do, let me know. If anybody wants to finish these, I have done that previously, had people take them. So I'm in Edinburgh, so if you're in Edinburgh, I'm happy to just hand them over to you. If you are elsewhere, to see how much the postage is, because I'm in the UK. So if you're in the States, it might be a bit pricey to send it to you, and I might be better off just donating it somewhere here. But I feel like I'm probably not going to do justice to these blocks, if I'm honest. So I'm not particularly looking for suggestions about, I should make a tabletop or a wall hanging or whatever with these, because they don't excite me. Obviously something about them excited me enough to buy them at the time, but they don't excite me right now. I don't think I would use them in my house as a cushion or as anything else. I know there's lots of things that can be done with them, but not enough to spend my time on, right? So I think that's the thing with the UFOs. A lot of folk, when you're quilting, it's for your own enjoyment, sometimes for stress relief. And it's kind of like, what do you want? That's precious time. And what do you want it to be for? Now, I've got slightly different reasons. Some of the times I'm making videos, I make some ad money, off of putting content out there into the universe. So I've got some other reasons sometimes to finish projects that maybe you don't have. But at the same time, I don't want to spend time on things that don't light me up, right? So this whole pile of stuff, I'm just not sure that I want to spend time on. So if any of these projects did light you up and you think you would want to spend time on them, let me know, send me an email. I'll put my email on the screen. I'm happy to talk about passing these on to somebody. I don't even need you to tell me what you did with them. There's no test at the end, but if you think you would enjoy doing something with these, do get in touch with me and we'll see if we can link up and get it to you. As well as all of these UFOs, I have another category of stuff in my sewing room, which maybe is for a different video, which doesn't have an acronym that I'm aware of, but I'm gonna call it NSOs, Not Started Objects. So an NSO to me would be something where I've done kind of a fabric pull, I've got an idea of what I wanna do, but nothing's been sewn yet. So that's a kind of different category of things. I've not included that in here. And if you're wondering why the quilt that I talked about a couple weeks ago for my stepfather Dan is not in the UFO piles, because I haven't started sewing it. So unfortunately, if you saw that one, basically it was like me talking about different concepts for a quilt for someone in my family. Anyway, and I was gonna run it past them, and then they were gonna give me their opinion. Sadly, in Dan's family, there's been a death, so it's not the time for us to be talking about quilt designs. So I will be getting back to that one, and I will have that one on part 2 on the channel at some point. But right now I'm looking for something else to focus on, because that's going to stay, at the moment for me, an NSO, not started object. It's still a pile of fabric and ideas that hasn't started. So if you have listened to all of that, thank you so much. Talking through it all with you, believe it or not, has been super helpful for me. And I now feel like I have a way forward with a few projects, and a way of, and somehow categorizing them makes it feel not so bad for me that there are 10. I don't know, is 10 a lot, or is 10 kind of moderate? I'd love to know how many UFOs you have. Maybe it'll make me feel better. I don't know. Or maybe it won't if you say you have 3. Anyway, no, but I do feel better from just having looked at them all and put them into categories. It's not such a mountain of unfinished stuff now. It's 3 projects that I want to crack on with in the near future, and the rest have kind of, I've parked them in my mind in different places that I don't need to worry about right now. So that makes it feel a bit more doable. So anyway, thank you very much for listening. And if you have not subscribed, I would love it if you would consider it. Do leave me a comment, give me your UFO tips. How do you get going with them, or how do you decide not to do them if you do, or just your general thoughts on that would be great. And I hope to see you next time. Thanks so much for spending time with me. Bye.